The Torah instructs us in Parshas Acharei Ushmartem es chukosai ves mishpatai asher yaseh osam ha'adam v'chai bohem. Torah wants us to keep its mitzvos, but also to live with the mitzvos. Not to risk our life, and certainly not to die with mitzvos, but rather to live with mitzvos. And from here, Chazal learn that if someone is held at gunpoint and instructed that they will be murdered if they don't violate an Avera, so the halacha is to violate the Avera. V'chai b'hem. Torah wants us to be living. Of course, besides the big three, don't murder, don't commit idolatry, and don't violate Gili Arayos. Besides those three, someone is supposed to violate the halacha rather than give up their life. The Kotzker Rebbe says, V'chai b'hem teaches us something additional. Of course, the halacha is right, but the Torah is instructing us how to perform mitzvos. V'chai b'hem, that it shouldn't just be dry performance, mechanical, just doing a task as if it's a burden, but rather, v'chai b'hem, we should do so with life. At an adventurous point in my life, I remember I learned a life-changing lesson from the cook in Hong Kong, Maurice. I wish I remember his last name. But ever since I saw Maurice shake lulav and esrog during Hallel on Sukkot, so I realized what that mitzvah was all about and how to perform that mitzvah. It wasn't just a mechanical front, back, side, up, down kind of maneuver, but rather we're speaking with HaKadosh Baruch Hu and we're bringing kochos into the world. And the deeper and more meaningfully that we perform the mitzvah, so then the more impact our mitzvah will have on the world. V'chai b'hem. We inject life into the mitzvah, and perhaps the more life that we perform the mitzvah with, so then the more bracha and the more life we could bring to the world via that mitzvah. The Chidushei HaRim says we could go one level deeper, that it's not just telling us the halacha of when we should violate an avira at the risk of our life, and it's not just telling us how to perform the mitzvah, but it's also telling us how we should view mitzvos and what kind of place they should have in our life. Every now and then, people need downtime. We need a break where we're going through a lower point, maybe not so excited about what's going on in our lives. The Chidushei HaRim says, V'chai b'hem. There should be something in Torah, there should be something in mitzvos. That should be our life-giving energy. That's where we should turn to in order to be excited. That's where we should go to in order to get fired up. As the Mesilas Yesharim very famously explains, that there are certain things we can control and certain things we can't control. Very often we can't control what's going on emotionally or in our mind, but we can control our actions. And our actions can impact the way that we feel as well. So if we do actions bezrizus, if we do them with excitement, even though we might not be feeling it, so that impacts the way that we feel as well. Chidushei HaRim again is one step deeper, is that we should have certain mitzvos, that's what gives us our life force. Davening, learning, it doesn't have to be the same mitzvah for everybody, it can be different for everybody, but everybody should have their place, everybody should have their thing, their go-to mitzvah. Kibbud Av V'Em, Shabbos, Brachos, whatever it might be, everybody should have the mitzvah that v'chai b'hem, that's what we live by, that's what excites us, that's what gives us chiyus, that's what gives us life and excitement as we go through our days. HaKadosh Baruch Hu should help us see the value, the beauty, the importance, the power of mitzvos, and through that we should define our lives and our high points and our excited moments through the prism of Torah. Have a great Shabbos.